What it do? How you doing? And I am back with another video. Today, E&E family, it's game day. So today, we're going to be making a nice big pot of chili and a dessert even your 2-year-old can make. Okay, so let's get started. I've had some ground turkey that I have been browning. This is 2 1-pound packages of ground turkey. As I've told you guys previously, I'm not really a ground beef eater or red meat eater. So I like to use ground turkey in mine, but of course you can use whatever you can use. Ground turkey, you can use ground beef, you can use ground chicken, you can use whatever meat you want to use. This is just what I'm using today. So that's been all cooked through. You want to make sure that your meat is cooked thoroughly, that there's no pink. So next, we're going to get in some veggies. So I have some onion, red bell pepper, and green bell pepper that I chopped up. So we're going to get that added in. The chili is one of those things, it's so versatile. I mean, you not only can eat a bowl of chili, but you could have coney dogs. You could have chili on tortilla chips. I mean, the possibilities are endless when you're talking about chili. So let's see if we have enough veggies in there. Oh yeah. And hopefully my pot is big enough. Sometimes I underestimate and I don't use a big enough pot. Okay. We got some veggies in there. Let's go ahead and we'll add a few more. See if we can get the rest in there. Yeah. Okay. Let's get that mixed in. Okay, so next I'm going to add a little tomato sauce. I'm going to add the can of some diced tomatoes. And I'm going to rinse the liquid off of this second can. So we got some, I like the petite diced tomatoes, but you can use whatever kind of tomatoes you want. Next, we're going to get our beans added in. And I don't like kidney beans at all. So I don't put kidney beans in my chili. But I do put black beans in my chili. And I do drain off the little black bean sauce that comes in the can because I don't like it. So few black beans. I do like chili beans, so I'm going to add 1 can of chili beans. I just don't like the kidney beans. Next, we're going to get the seasoning. Now, I cheat a little. I use a chili seasoning packet as well as spices. So this is just a Tex-Mex chili seasoning packet that I'm going to add in. But I'm also going to add in some spices. So we're going to add in some garlic. And I'm sorry, guys, I don't have measurements. I would say do it according to your taste. You could start with a teaspoon, a tablespoon. Start with a teaspoon of spices, and then you could taste it and see if it needs any more spices added in. Because usually after it cooks for a little bit, once the flavors start to marry, I go back and I taste and see if I need to add a little bit more seasoning. Okay, so that was garlic powder. We got some black pepper. Little onion powder. A little paprika. We got some chili powder. We're going to add some salt. Okay, we're going to add a little cumin. Smells good. Next, I'm going to add a little chicken broth. I like to add a little chicken broth to my chili. Not a lot, just a little. So that's a little chicken broth. And then I like to add beer to my chili. Just gives it an amazing flavor. Now I'm not going to add the whole can. I like a lighter beer in my chili. I don't like the dark beers, but if you like a dark beer, you definitely can put a dark beer in here. So we're going to add this beer. And of course, whatever I don't use, we're going to drink. Okay. So let's get that stirred up. It looks and smells amazing already, and it hasn't even cooked. I love a good pot of chili. It's a perfect day for it. It's rainy and cool today. I love a good pot of chili. Okay. Now, I wait to do this part until after I add my liquids to see how runny it possibly is. And it has, you know, a little bit of liquid. So I add a little bit of tomato paste. Just like that. Just to make sure we don't have a runny chili. Now I'm going to give it a little taste. I like to add a little sugar to my chili. You don't have to do this part, but to me it brings out the flavor. So a couple tablespoons of chili. I don't want it to taste, you know, overly sweet. Okay. So we're going to put a lid on this. Turn the fire back up on it, or the heat rather. We're going to put a lid on it. We're going to let it cook for about 30 minutes, and then I'm going to taste it to see if I need to add any more seasonings. And then we'll let it cook for another 20 to 25 minutes. And when I come back, I'm going to show you how to make this simple dessert that even your 2-year-old can make. Don't go nowhere. Okay, so let's get started on this simple dessert. Okay, so first we're going to add peaches. I bought the wrong peaches. I thought I was buying the peaches that were already sliced. I bought half, so I had to cut mine up. It's no big deal. So we're going to add the peaches to our pan. Simple, easy dump cake. That's what this is a dump cake. Okay, so we got the peaches in. And then sometimes when you're in the store, you're just in a rush or you're just not paying attention. So I bought the cherries that were in water instead of the cherries that are in the normal sauce that we normally get, like to put on top of cheesecake. It don't matter. We're going to use them today. So we're going to add 2 cans of cherries. And I drained these off because I didn't want that water in here. So we got 2 cans of cherries. And I'm just going to take my hands and mix this up. And I used 2 cans of peaches as well. Okay, now I'm going to add some of the peach juice back in here. Because otherwise it'll be a little dry if you don't. Okay. So just like that. Real simple. So next, you're just going to take a box of cake mix. This will probably be the only time you ever see me use a boxed cake mix. But for this, I really didn't see the point of whooping together a dry cake mix for this when I could just buy one from the store. So you can use any cake mix you want. Today I'm using a yellow cake mix. You can use white, you can use chocolate, whatever cake you want. You can use whatever type of fruit you want. But today, this is what we're doing today. So we're just going to take this cake mix and pour it on top. Just like that. And you're going to use the entire package of cake mix. Just right on top, just like that. And next, you take some butter. Now, you can melt your butter if you want and pour it on top. I'm just going to take some pieces that I cut up and break them up over the top. I told you. So simple, your 2-year-old can do it. You could only, if you don't even know how to cook, you could only boil water. You can make this dessert. It's so easy. So simple. And it's good. And I actually need a little bit more butter. So I'm going to get a little bit more butter added onto the top of this cake. And then we're going to bake it in a 350-degree oven just until the top is brown and bubbly and golden. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to serve this up, and we're going to get to taste testing our chili. Don't go nowhere. Okay, so while everything's cooking up, I decided I want some cornbread with my chili. So it's going to start with a cup of flour. And it's basically a cup, and a half cup of sugar. So a cup of flour. And for this, I don't sift. I don't sift for this one. So we got 1 cup of flour. Homemade cornbread is the best cornbread in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with Jiffy. But if you can make it homemade, by all means, make it homemade. So we got a cup of cornmeal. Just like that. And this is basically how my grandma made her cornbread, except she didn't put sugar in her cornbread. And I'm just using a 1/4 cup measuring cup, but I'll add a couple scoops like that. We're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So that's 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now let's mix that all together. Okay. Next, I'm gonna add 2 eggs. Next, I'm going to add a little buttermilk. I would say start with a 1/2 cup. And then if you need to add a little bit more, you can. I just eyeball it. I've made it so many times, I just kind of know. But you can start with a 1/2 cup. And if it's not enough, then you can add a little bit more. And if you don't like the taste of buttermilk, you can use regular milk. But buttermilk just gives it that oomph, that flavor you need in your cornbread. And don't over mix because it will make for a very tough cornbread. Okay, and then I have some butter that I melted, a whole stick of butter, and I just pour it in there like that. And we're gonna get this mixed in. Do like a fold method if you can. You just want to mix the butter in until it's well incorporated. And pour it back into your buttered pan. Simple, easy, and delicious. We're going to bake this in a 350-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or until a toothpick in the middle comes out clean. And when we come back, we are going to taste all of these delicious, the chili, the dump cake, and our cornbread. When we come back, we're going to get to eating. Y'all don't go nowhere. And our chili and cornbread is done. So here's our chili. Hopefully you guys can see this. Look at that. Full of meat, beans. Looks absolutely delicious. And then here's our cornbread. Hopefully that doesn't white out. Absolutely amazing. Let's get a taste of this food because for one, I am starving. So, so we got cornbread and y'all already know. I added my Tabasco in here. And it's still pretty hot. A piece of that cornbread. Y'all. So good. Exactly what you need on a winter's day. Not a winter's day. I'm jumping ahead. On a rainy fall day. I'm going to put a little cornbread in this here chili. And we're going to taste it like that. This is so good. It is hitting the spot. Now, let's take a look at this dump cake. It's been sitting aside cooling. I'm going to take a little out so we can get a taste. Okay. So, we're going to get into this. Get this on our plate. And then, we can't let the dump cake not have a friend. I'm going to add a little ice cream. This is butter pecan. This is what I have on hand today. You can use any ice cream you want. Get a scoop of that. Look at that. Let's get some ice cream and some dump cake. Let me show y'all. girl. There is nothing better than comfort food. This is so good. It was easy. Something you can do with your kids. This dump cake, they'll have a ball doing this. So good. And that's it for today, E&E family. Thank you for rocking out with me today. Like, comment, share this video with anyone and everyone that you know. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so that you can be notified when a new video is uploaded. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links are in the description box below. And as always, E&E family, don't forget to live a little and love a lot. Y'all be easy.